How is it going, everybody? What is up? Welcome back to World of Tanks. Today I am back with yet another news episode. Yes, another news episode because we have a lot of new stuff to talk about. In today's episode I have many different topics to talk about, but my main focus goes on something that I believe is going to be our next Polish tank in this game. Tank 51, upcoming tier 8 premium heavy tank from Poland. Because this is how Wargaming usually likes to introduce new nations, new tech trees. They usually launch premium tank from that nation first, and after that there comes the entire tech tree. And Tank 51, upcoming tier 8 Polish premium heavy tank, was actually spotted on the public test server, on the 1.0.2's public test server. So what I'm able to share with you today about Tank 51, aka Defender 2.0, yes, this is how people call this tank already, is most likely close being a final version of this tank, because it is already on the public test server, or files were on the public test server. Let's compare it to the Defender itself and let's see if it is actually Defender 2.0. That would be fairly scary, thinking about what kind of shitstorm Defender released when it was first introduced. Let's take a look at it, and at the end of the episode I might have some other topics for you. Let's get the show on the road. And as promised, let's get this show on the road with Tank 51, or Czolg T 51, or something like that. But guys, please keep in mind, this might not be the final version of Tank 51. At the moment it seems pretty scary, but Wargaming still has time to tune it a bit. Now, if I am going to compare statistics side by side on tanks.gg, I can see some alarm bells for sure, because I can see a lot of red on the right side, where we have object 252U, aka Defender. A lot of red, even under the mobility. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the firepower. They both come with 440 alpha damage gun, which is already really awesome on a premium vehicle, on a premium heavy tank. But Tank 51 has almost 200 extra DPM, 1955 compared to the 1760. And as always guys, keep in mind everything is subject to change, but this is the Tank 51 at the moment on the test server. Now, what is better on Defender? Penetration. Under firepower I can say the only thing that is better on Defender is penetration. 218 on Tank 51 and 225 on Defender. And that is it. Reload time, a DPM difference comes from the reload time, of course, because alpha damage is the same, 440, but reload time on Tank 51, stock reload time, 13.50 seconds. On object 252U, 15 seconds, so 1.5 seconds slower reload time. Ammunition capacity is also better on Tank 51, 35 compared to the 30. And shell velocity only 7 meters per second better, so this is pretty much the same. But ammunition capacity, potential damage is better on Tank 51. Now gun handling, this is also interesting. Aiming time on Tank 51, 2.8 seconds. It is nothing special, right? But we all know that Defender has really bad aiming time. 3.2 seconds, so 0.4 second faster aiming time already. Dispersion is also better, a lot. 0.38 compared to the 0.44. Moving accuracy is a bit better, tank traverse accuracy is a bit better, but turret traverse accuracy is the same. And after firing, Defender has a bit better plume, and that is it. Gun depression on Tank 51 minus 10 degrees, compared to the Defender's 6 degrees of gun depression. Better gun handling, better firepower stats, because faster reload time, better DPM, more ammunition. They are pretty much removing all the flaws that Defender had. Interesting. Let's take a look at the mobility. So top speed is exactly the same, 35, reverse speed is also same, 14, but engine power 50 extra horsepower on Tank 51, 750 compared to the 700. That means better power to weight ratio, 14.33 compared to the 13.59. Both turret and hull traverse speeds are also better, 28 on turret and 38 on hull. 38 hull traverse speed is not bad, guys, it really is not bad. Armor. Let's talk about the armor. Once again, we can see some red on the right side, but more green this time. Because hull armor 170 in the front, 90 on the sides and 80 in the rear. Now side armor is not as good, but frontal armor 170. That sounds, I would say, pretty scary, on paper at least. Most likely it simply goes to the upper plate, so I have to see the 3D model to make up my final opinion about this. And I have heard people think driver hatch is going to be a weak spot, but I think in their previous developer diaries episodes, or maybe was it in their first one, they said the driver hatch, thanks to the angling, is going to have up to 260 or 270 millimeters of effective armor. So no, it is not going to be a weak spot.
Yes, there's one less armored spot, the driver's hatch. There's not much nominal armor there, but the relative armor thickness reaches almost 270 millimeters. Not bad for a Tier 8 vehicle.
But 170 on the upper plate, or at least I hope it is only on the upper plate, not in the lower plate, is something that you cannot penetrate with any Tier 8s, angled like it is, with any Tier 9s and with a lot of Tier 10s as well. But I think you can simply, or you can still penetrate the lower plate quite easily. And if I remember correctly, it wasn't the smallest lower plate to hit and to penetrate, but I have to see the 3D armor profile for sure, because 170 on paper sounds really scary. Now turret is a bit weaker than on Defender, 210 in the front, 150 on the sides and 100 in the rear, but it is nicely sloped turret, so still super hard to penetrate. And the view range is 30 meters better, 380 compared to the 350. Yes, the radio range is a bit worse, but I don't know, maybe simply placeholder stats right here. But radio range doesn't matter anyway as much as view range does. So all in all we can say better firepower on Tank 51, better gun handling on Tank 51, better mobility, armor is 50-50, better hull armor, better turret armor on Defender, hull is better on Tank 51 and better view range on Tank 51. So for a lot of people I think this is going to be perfect vehicle, they enjoy it, they buy it, they love it, but just thinking back what community did with Defender, yeah. But then again, you simply cannot please every single player in this game. Tank 51, ladies and gentlemen, at the moment. And now let's jump into the next topic. Quickly, let's take a look at every single vehicle in the Polish tech tree. This time I am not going to talk too much about every single tank. When Wargaming releases detailed statistics about every single vehicle, then I am going to make my tech tree preview episode about Polish vehicles. But for now, let's simply take a look how they look like. And let's start with tier 1, of course. So in tier 1 we have a 4 TP, maybe I can say even one of the coolest looking tier 1s, after a Swedish tier 1, of course, because nothing beats that. So 4 DP in tier 1, in tier 2 we have 7 DP, interesting names, I have to say. This is like any other tier 2 vehicle, like any other low tier vehicle, nothing too special, too crazy. In tier 3 and 4 we have 10 DP and 14 DP. Now this looks more like a tank, I have to say, a bit like D-28 in the Soviet Russian tech tree. It reminds me D-28. This definitely, this 14 DP definitely reminds me D-28. In tier 6 we have, oh yes, I remember this vehicle, we have Xust 1. I remember this one from the developer diaries episodes many years ago. Even they showed something about this turret, I remember. I have seen it quite a long time ago already. Interesting, yeah, definitely something different. In tier 6 and tier 7 we have something that was made by Edward Habitz, so this reminds me those new Italian tanks. Tier 6 vehicle reminds me new tier 6 and 7 Italian vehicles. Hull reminds me those tanks a bit, but tier 7 turret looks awesome. I would like to see the armor values, nicely sloped. Yeah, not a bad looking vehicle. That tier 7 one, 45 TP. And what was the name of this thing? 40 TP. Alright, let's move on. This one, tier 8, is 53 DP. This is how it looks like. Turret reminds me IS-3's upgraded turret. Upgraded / stock turret. It has something from the stock turret and something from the upgraded turret as well. Commander hatch is here for a weak spot that you can penetrate most likely. Yes, this side profile most definitely reminds me IS-3. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. Windows notification in tier 9. We have 50 DP. More about statistics, specs when they come out, when the final version comes out at least, or the updated version. Because at the moment I think they released something about tier 9 and tier 10, but currently they do not even know if they are using, or if they are going to use 130mm gun or 152mm gun on a tier 10 that looks like this. This hull reminds me something. What does it remind me? This front of the hull or driver hatch reminds me SDI, but side profile? Where are you? Yeah, like SDI. But front of the vehicle reminds me IS-4. So IS-4, SDI-ish, and turret is from the... I don't know. This is bloody big turret, like 705 turret maybe. Maybe something like that. This gun is massive. I think pictures are with 152mm gun. So yet another nasty hitter, and if I remember correctly, 750 alpha damage currently at least. So yeah, this is Polish Nation at the moment at least. I keep you posted when I hear anything new about all those vehicles, so stay tuned. Subscribe button is for that, yeah. And moving on to our final topic today. I actually had a couple more topics for today's news episode, but I'm looking at the clock and seems like it is time to end today's episode because you are bored already, I believe. So finally, let's take a quick look at this weekend's special called Spotlight Medium Tanks. So starting from June 9 to June 12, you are able to get triple experience for the first victory of today. Every single tier 5 medium tank, I think regular medium tank, is with minus 50% discount. Tier 6 and tier 7 medium tanks are with minus 30% discount, and same goes to the TOS premium tanks in this list. Minus 50% on TOS guys and minus 30% on TOS guys. D3485M is really good option. AC4 experimental is really good option if you like penis tanks. What else? So we have 2 missions. Win a battle in the top 10 by base XP, large caliber repair kit, and 2 times crew XP. Over here you simply have to play 5 battles. Okay, and you can get it 3 times per day. And what do we have over here? Discount on Lorraine. Actually, nope, no discount on Lorraine, because all those package discounts are discounts anyway. They are never without discounts. Do not let it to fool you, because this minus 10% is always over here, this minus 20 is always over here, so standard Lorraine is not on discount, so that means no discount. You always get some minus percentages when you buy the packages. This is just standard economy business tricks. So yeah, and I believe this was my today's episode featuring Tank 51, Polish tanks, and weekend special. I had some more topics for you, but I think it is time to end today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, I really do. Let me know what you think about so-called Defender 2.0 in its current state in the comments down below, and I catch you next time, hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. Take care and bye.